Scott, you're here at Toronto Comic Con promoting your book, Hollow Planet. Tell us a bit about that.
Hollow Planet is the epic story of Danny Husk and his misadventures at the center of the Earth, in a nutshell.
So it's the sequel to Brandon Fraser's Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Absolutely.
Yes. No one wants to see that.
No one does want to see that. Although the original, the book, Center of the Earth, is an inspiration for this. Yes. Because that's always been my favorite genre. I mean, I love science fiction and fantasy, and my favorite subgenre is Center of the Earth books. I used to be obsessed with Pellucidar and Edgar Rice Burroughs, his books at the center of the Earth and stuff. And so I decided I started writing this 10 years ago. I wanted to write something for the kid in me. The kid that found a dirty book and hid it under his bed. And that's what this is for. I mean, it's an adult book.
Okay.
And kids, you shouldn't be reading it. And you shouldn't be. But, you know,
it's reasonably priced.
It's priced for kids. So. To be honest, a kid could afford it just without even a salary. Yeah. A paperboy could afford it.
Yeah, that's right. But if they're alive,
a live paperboy could afford it.
Who's not currently being monitored.
A dead paperboy has no use for it.
I meant papers as a dead sort of industry, but fair enough.
That's what we're talking about. Is the newspaper is dead?
Yes.
So there's no such thing as paper boys.
Ironically enough, but so
I was a paper boy, okay, so I really resent what you're implying.
All right. Is that also the other card that's in your wall? It's like NAMBLA, Paperboy Union of Canada.
Yes.
Okay. So you wrote this 10 years ago, and sort of. How have you gone back and rewrote it over the years?
God, a million times. It's been through about 50 drafts. Yeah, it's the story that I kept returning to every time my career would hit a trough, which was quite often. I would return to the Hollow Planet and keep working on it, and I was constantly building the world. Like, I mean, I wanted to create a world that people could live in, that I could eventually live in, when I eventually lose my mind. And then I ended up living in that fantasy world. You know, and I've been working on it forever, and then I first wrote it as a screenplay, and then nobody was interested. They were like, it's too weird, it's too dirty, it costs too much, everybody's taking their clothes off all the time, and...
Meanwhile, Freddy Got Fingered got made.
Oh, that's a whole different interview.
Yeah, that's...
But, you know, and it's not even dirty, it's not explicit, it's just frank. And but it's an adventure, and I don't think people knew what to do with the movie. And then I went, well, I'll make it as a graphic novel. So I started pitching it, and then this company, Frozen Beach, thought they loved it, and then Stefan Nielsen, the president, he adapted it into this form. Now I'm writing the second book now. And the second book I'm writing directly as a comic book script, because I've learned how to do it.
Yeah.
Because this experience has taught me about how to write that kind of a thing.
That's what I was going to ask. So you wrote the screenplay form, and I know many writers out there find the pacing much different in comic books.
It is different.
How have you found, like, what other inspirations have you found in regards to your comic book writing? Where have you been drawing?
I'm reading Will Eisner's book, and I've been given a lot of good advice by Tommy Castillo and David Mack. And they've been giving me some very good advice on storytelling this way. And, you know, my thing is, you know, I don't really think of different genres. I don't think of them as that different. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, if you have a good story, let's say I lost my legs and I was a dancer, I would go, well, I can't do a dance of Hollow Planet, I'll write it. And then if they cut my arms off, I would go, well, I can still sing it. I'd make it a song. And then if you cut out my voice box, I would go, well, I could, what could I do then?
You could do the Stephen Hawking thing and have the blinking computer.
I could put a brush on my head and I could paint it. And then if they cut my head off, I mean, that would be the end of it. That would be the end of it.
The end of that.
That would be the end of it. Yeah. But, you know, so for me, a graphic novel, like, I didn't really do that much research.
But you're getting good advice, though, particularly David Mack and Tom Castillo.
Yeah, I'm getting good advice.
And let's be honest, David Mack is, quite frankly, the handsomest man in comics.
I think he is. He really is.
He is, isn't he?
Very handsome.
He's insanely fit.
Yes. He is insanely fit.
He's insanely fit, and I know David is he's a friend of the show, and we've used to joke that he was Tom Cruise's stunt double for the longest time.
Oh, I can see that. He's a good-looking guy.
He is. He's a attractive man.
Brilliant.
And he is. His book is fantastic. If you haven't read Kabuki or his...
Yeah, he gave me Kabuki.
Oh.
Oh. Are you off? Aaron Douglas from Battlestar Galactica.
Ladies and gentlemen.
My lover. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
It's out. Yes, we've been together for years, and what of it? What of it, world?
For the behind.
I'm not ashamed. Why should you be?
Damn Cylons.
Cylons.
My boy, Scotty.
I always wanted a Cylon.
I was going to say, did you land him the job on Hellcats?
Oh, man. I was so excited to meet him the last Comic-Con because I am such a geek for Battlestar Galactica, and you know right over there is Kate Vernon, who
we just interviewed her. Yeah.
ties
Yeah.
incredible.
And my friend just reminded me, she was James Spader's girlfriend in 16 Candles.
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
No, I know.
And I would have brought it up and been like, "You're Spader's girl? Is he really freaky?"
Wow, I bet he is.
Like, you do enough Cronenberg movies, it kind of
But you know,
Oh no, it's just, no.
that show was amazing.
Oh, phenomenal.
That was a big inspiration too. I mean, not because I'd already written it, but you know, when I was so obsessed with it, because I went, wow, what they've done with science fiction was what I want to do with fantasy. I want to take a genre and I want to blow it up.
And blow it up and flip it on its head. And
yeah, like exactly. Like fantasy is a genre that's so generally sexless.
Yeah.
And humorless. Generally.
Yes. Generally humanless.
Generally.
Yes.
There are
the cover art is a different story.
Yes, but inside they're usually pretty sexless and pretty humorless, and I thought, well, I'm going to make a funny, sexy fantasy. Another inspiration was John Varley. You didn't ask, but I don't know if you know John Varley.
I don't, but tell me more.
He's a forgotten, I think, a genius. And he wrote 3 books called Titan, Gaia, and Wizard back in the 70s and 80s, and I guess maybe the 80s. And they're really wonderful books, and they're very, they're sexy. And people have sex with centaurs, and well, who wouldn't?
I just love that the titles are so simplistic, but yet in the inside, sex with a centaur, clearly a complicated thing mechanically.
Well, here's the thing. I have a theory about centaur sex.
Okay.
Okay. If the genitals are in the back, it's bestiality. But if they're in the front,
game on. It's game on.
Game on.
Game on. Play
perfectly fine.
Play on the ranch.
If you don't have to step up in a stool to do it, it's totally fine. If the animal doesn't have to be restrained, it's fine. Right?
Yes, I agree completely. If you don't have to fly to Mexico to watch it, it's legit.
It's okay. And it's not even a theory. I mean, I'm going to put it into practice one day. I hope I live long enough.
Isn't this a rule or part of the law in Amsterdam as well?
It is a law. It is. It's like the law of robotics. Yeah. Isaac Asimov's law of robotics. There's the number 11.
Number 11.
I don't know were there 10.
I think it was 3.
3. It's number 4. It's about the genitals and centaurs. And this is where I realized I made up this law after I saw The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I went, this is wrong. That I'm being turned on by a centaur in a kids movie. Which reminds me, my dues are...
Yeah, the NAMBLA dues are back. I had planned on cutting the NAMBLA bit out, but apparently we're keeping it in. So, Scott, we are dorkshelf.com, so we have to ask, what is on your dork shelf? What is the thing that you love to show off to people when they get into your home? What is the thing that you collect the most?
I love Scott Thompson. Love it.
Dustin Diamond, my other lover. I'm cheating on Aaron Douglas with Dustin Diamond. It's the way it goes. What were you saying?
What?
That was Screech.
I know.
Screech didn't he make a porn movie?
Yes, he did. That's what my 8-year-old self is now both traumatized because I've seen the Saved by the Bell hero and the Kids in the Hall hero at the same time. But now realizing that, anyway,
I know.
Yes.
My dork shelf.
Dork shelf. Yes.
Good.
What is the thing that you'd love to show off into your home? You're like prized possession. If there were a fire, what would you grab for anything else in that fire?
Oh Lord, that's
besides copies of Hollow Planet.
Oh yeah, Dork Planet. Oh, I have so many dorky things in the house. I mean, I guess it would be a first edition of TikTok of Oz. It's pretty embarrassing, isn't it?
Not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
I believe I have one, do you?
Well, I'll let you know. Oh no, I'm letting you in on a secret. Aaron Douglas would grab his framed picture of Boba Fett with Han Solo and Carbonite walking through an airport, like they're picking him up. So TikTok Volume 1, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's better than Aaron Douglas.
I didn't want to say nothing, but that's a lover's quarrel.
Yeah, that is. Oh boy, I'm gonna be in this shit house tonight when I get home. Gonna be no nookie worth chief tonight.
I love how suddenly you become a vaudevillian. Scott, where can we find you online?
Oh man, everywhere. I have got such a potent digital presence right now. Here's the thing, you can find me at my new website, www.newscotland.com.
Okay.
You can find me in I have a podcast called Scott Free. And then I have a Facebook page and a Twitter account, but the most important thing is I have a fruit blog where I blog about fruit. Seriously, I'm not even ironic. Like, I just talk about fruit, and it's called Fruit Blog. And this week we're talking about the apple, and tomorrow I'm posting the chapter 2 on the Macintosh, so it's very exciting. It's the website, the address is www.fruitblog.blogspot.com. Come on down. It's just a lot of fruit there.
Scott Thompson, thank you so much. Did the Granny Smith do it in the end?
I can't.
You can't?
I don't. That's a spoiler alert.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.